Samal tau nare
Yo, what's happening, Cucumber Squad? Right, man, let's get into this. This is the review breakdown of Dimash's online concert. Right, I was just getting into my little Zen Shi type thing. You know what I mean? In the beginning, I know. Did you hear my voice over there? Did you hear how good that voice is? I've obviously dressed up for the occasion, which I put a collared shirt on because I feel it's appropriate for this particular event. Right. Very simple. I'm not going to be playing any clips from the concert. Obviously, I'm not showing any screenshots. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally breaking down the concert, every single song from start to finish. And I'm going to be breaking it down into three specific categories. Category number one, as you guys will know, as I talk about it all the time, what Dimash was wearing, right? Was he looking slick? Was he looking fly? What did he have? Did he have socks on? I see he didn't. For most part, he didn't have socks on. He's going to get sick. My grandmother always used to tell me, you need to wear socks. Anyway, number one is we're going to be talking about what he was wearing. How did he look? His attire. And that's number one. Number two is obviously going to be his performance. What I thought about the actual performance, what I thought about the actual song, whether it was a new song, whether it was an old song, how that compared to the old version of that song, if it is a new version. And then obviously number three is going to be the stage itself, the actual graphics, the actual stage aesthetics, the backup dancers, the lighting, and that kind of thing. So those three things. So it's going to be attire, it's going to be Dimash's performance, and then it's going to be the actual stage itself and the aesthetics of the stage and what I thought about that. We will do that song by song, right from start to finish, from when Dimash starts off on that white couch right up to the digital version of his We Are Golden video right at the end, right? So from one deer to many deers, this is my breakdown. Let's get into it. Okay, so to begin with, Dimash comes out. He actually stands on the wings of the stage waiting to come out to perform Ogni Pietra. Now, Ogni Pietra is one of the songs I absolutely love. It's such a great song of his, and then that rendition was absolutely fantastic. I loved the class of it with regards to him wearing firstly his maroon suit with the black collared shirt. Still no socks, unfortunately. I don't think Dimash owns socks. And I think I need to purchase a couple of socks and send it Dimash's way. Still no socks. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He still looked absolutely slick. Sat on a beautiful pearl white couch, singing Ogni Pietra, vocals through the roof, obviously. Those high pitches that Ogni Pietra. See, I can also do it. And yeah, so that was absolutely fantastic, which then transitions into Give Me Love, which is now a full stage performance with a whole bunch of backup dancers who now have suits that are also sporting like short pants as a suit, which is weird. It's like a summer suit, you know what I mean? They had like a summer suit, like their legs are really hot but their top of their bodies are really cold, so they wore like a suit with shorts. Anyway, it was very, very cool. Dimash is still wearing the maroon suit, which I fully approve of. Black collared shirt as he transitions onto stage. Lighting effects absolutely fantastic. Give Me Your Love scrolling across the screens. Lighting coming across the stage, blue and red lighting, absolutely fantastic. Nice little number piece. Very, very, very energetic Dimash, bouncing around the stage, singing Give Me Your Love. Very poppy type song. I actually haven't heard that one before, or if I have, I can't remember exactly, but very poppy, very bouncy, very out there, very jivey, move to yourself with the instrumentation and the on-stage band. Really, really cool. I really enjoyed that piece, right? That is Ogni Pietra and Give Me Love as a single performance. That's what I thought of it. Obviously, Dimash's vocals in all of it, spectacular. It's going to be a running theme across this entire review, is that Dimash's vocals on the highs and low, absolutely perfect. Perfect. Really love that piece, right? Moving on to piece number two. Okay, so piece number two, we move into SOS. Dimash still sporting that same maroon suit with the black collared shirt, absolutely awesome on stage. by himself. Really dramatic lighting as well, which I really love. Lighting is a big thing when it comes to concerts, specifically when it's a digital concert. You need something to keep people completely appealed. My personal opinion with regards to SOS is that SOS is one of my favorite pieces by Dimash, and this particular performance was absolutely subliminally tweaked, very much like his inauguration piece that he did, that I thought was absolutely incredible. Again, super tweaked, the best version of it that I've heard to date, and that I'm really judging it on a very fine line, because they're all fantastic. But this, it all came together from like a digital performance and from a vocal performance. It's almost like he had that stage to himself with no crowd, nothing, and had all the time in the world to focus on every breath, on every note, on every emotion. Even at a certain point of the song, he actually dropped to his knees and literally belted out those notes. Just the passion that was shown in that piece. It is the best piece I have seen of that particular song, of SOS. Dimash is so well tweaked, so well calibrated, so well fine-tuned on that particular little performance that it brought tears to my eyes at a point there. And I love the fact that it was actually a digital performance, because you didn't hear the crowds, you didn't hear anybody clap or anything. It sort of deserved the silence after the song, which then kind of breaks away into like backstage and equipment and that kind of thing afterwards. But it deserved that silence because it just felt like you could hear a pin drop, and that performance just really, the weight that it just had on you was unbelievable from an emotional standpoint. So straight into from the SOS song, and that entire performance with the digital and the lighting and the dramaticism that was actually happening on stage was just mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. One of my favorite pieces of the concert. Okay, so digital transition, and off we go into We Are Golden, which I think is the original version of that particular song. I know he does a more sort of like electro EDM type version towards the end, and he's got a really awesome futuristic video. We'll talk about that then. But this particular one is the original one. After the digital transition on stage, obviously costume change. Dimash is wearing sort of like a waistcoat come trench coat. So it's like a waistcoat that has this trench coat type vibe. Anyway, it looks absolutely awesome. Black with the white collared shirt. Absolutely loved it. Looked great on stage. Backup dancers wearing silver type trench coats. Very awesome, which is kind of like grey, representing the system, representing the greyness of society. Really clever on the costume side there. Backdrop to that was the sort of stock market tickers on the screens, which is also a really cool backdrop, sort of representing the society that we live in, that are more focused on money, more focused on stocks, and more focused on generating wealth as opposed to actually being human. I also loved the fact that they had the digital clouds above him, looked very holographic, very real at a certain point, and that whole stage just looked absolutely awesome. That's obviously the original version of the song. Dimash obviously pulling out an absolutely fantastic performance. You could hear his accent quite heavily in this one with regards to the English, right? Obviously, because it's not his mother tongue. The accent came through quite strongly. Very motivational type song. It's the kind of song that you could play in your ears, which is still very sort of like vibey, but motivational, very uplifting to a certain degree. So it's the kind of song that, you know, when you're in your mode of being productive, and listening to that kind of thing kind of puts you in a bit of a peaceful space, but yet making you feel very motivated and, you know, wanting to do things, which I think is kind of the thought of the actual song. So absolutely love that. Beautiful performance. Moving on to the next one. Right, so after a montage of Dimash autographing pictures for fans and things like that, and then showing a couple of snippets of the on-band stage and backstage, we move into a song called Omir Ortera, right? Brand new song for me, never heard it before, absolutely beautiful. In terms of what he's wearing, he remains with the white collared shirt, the waistcoat and the trench coat, black and white feel, really cool. But we go straight into a dramatic stage set, which is now sort of in the forest, very sort of gloomy yet sort of golden trees behind him. Absolutely beautiful stage set, just him on stage. singing a song that's brand new and very, very, very sort of somber. Sounded like a very, very sad song. I'm not entirely sure with regards to the lyrics and what he performs in that, but the actual emotion that he pushes into that song, not too many highs with regards to vocals, very sort of flatline sort of vocals, whereas he really portrays a very sad and sorrow type situation. Thereafter, backdrop to him were the traditional instrumentation as well. The guys with the, I think it's called a dombra. I'm not entirely sure in terms of the instrument with the 2 strings. Beautiful instrumentation. Absolutely love that. They use that exact same instrumentation on Samal Tau as well, which I absolutely loved. Right? Very sad song, very emotional song, very traditional, what sounded traditional to me type song. I still need to sort of research with regards to what that song means in terms of lyrics and things like that, but I will leave that up to you to actually leave down in the comment section for me, right? And that was my views on that particular performance. Okay, now we then transition into War and Peace, right? A song that I have reacted to before. Absolutely beautiful song with a huge amount of meaning. Dimash still sporting the same exact attire with regards to the white collared shirt, the waistcoat come trench coat. Still looking absolutely fantastic on stage on his own, performing War and Peace. The actual backdrop on the stage, the graphics and that kind of thing, very cool, yet very bloody, right? Lots of blood splatter all over the show, kind of representing peace and obviously the lives lost and bloodshed and things like that. A very powerful song, a very powerful performance by Dimash as well. I love the fact that he hits those highs as per normal. He's always fantastic at that. It actually becomes pretty useless for me to say those kind of things because you guys know that his vocal performances is absolutely fantastic, and I think throughout this entire concert the whole theme of his vocal ability is basically overly tweaked, overly fantastic, really on point. So it's not even worth mentioning his sort of vocal ability at this point because we all know it's just literally on point, and he took it to another level in this concert, right? The fact that I absolutely loved, one of the points I absolutely loved was right at the end of War and Peace, really showing the sorrow, really showing the despair by falling once again to his knees and ending it off with a super high note, right, which is absolutely beautiful, which really fitted the whole dramatic scene of the stage with regards to war, and the whole bloody type thing, and War and Peace coming up in the backset. Really a beautiful performance. I actually really enjoyed that. One of my favorite pieces of this concert, but not my favorite. Let's move on. After a short little performance by the DQ band, where the band itself was just playing without Dimash, which was really nice with regards to the instrumentation, we moved straight into a performance by Dimash, which is Love of Tired Swans. Obviously, I've reacted to this. I absolutely love this song. He comes out with a beautiful pearl white suit, which I absolutely love, and a silver sort of t-shirt underneath it, sort of top underneath it, glittering silver. Absolutely awesome. Still no socks though, right? I don't think I'll ever get over the socks story, right? Still no socks. Anyway, as he starts the performance, you can already see that this is going to be an absolutely immaculate performance. Backdrop, the pink backdrop with the clouds and the contemporary dancers behind him. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely elegant, lovely song. With regards to the subtlety of the colors on stage, with regards to his white suit, which suits the whole swan vibe, with regards to the contemporary dancer who was wearing a pink dress, and then the partner who was wearing a white suit. Absolutely beautiful, literally glided across stage around Dimash, which makes the whole performance really so elegant and so poised. Dimash, once again, from a vocal performance, absolutely hitting those high notes like absolute crazy, beautiful performance. Once again, with regards to this performance, once again, the best performance of Love of Tired Swans I have seen. Right, his attire was actually exactly the same as the attire that he did for SOS, which is for Biden's inauguration. It was exactly the same suit that he was wearing there, so obviously they probably must have filmed it at the same time. But Love of Tight Swans, that particular performance, really, really, really beautiful on-stage performance, and once again, very happy that there was literally no crowd, because the silence really added a lot to this concert, I must be honest. The silence in between and after, before, in between and after those pieces really added and really let the emotion hang in the air for me without like crowds clapping and things like that. You really took it in a lot more. So that for me was really a nice piece. Right, we then transition into a brand new song, a song I've never heard before. It's called Maharbat Be Magan. Now, I don't know the song. It's obviously a brand new song, brand new to me. Absolutely beautiful, still wearing the same exact attire as the previous song, Love of Tight Swans, with the beautiful pearl white suit and the silver shirt. It looked like he actually did, his costume changes were between every sort of second to third song, which was absolutely fine. Very, very powerful song. Once again, I'm not entirely sure of the lyrics. He delivers an absolutely emphatic performance with regards to vocals. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. A solo act on stage, very dramatic, very dark, very sort of poised yet very poised performance, but with regards to stage lighting, minimal stage lighting, because I think they really wanted to show the dramaticism of that, which is great because it then transitions into another absolutely beautiful piece, which we'll talk about now. Overall, absolutely fantastic. Loved the song. Really, really on the high notes. Instrumentation really beautiful. What sounded like a very traditional piece as well. Obviously brand new, right? And hopefully at one point he'll put that on YouTube and I can actually react to the song itself. Okay, so moving on. After Dimash comes down from his platform that was raised on the previous song, he then transitioned into a song called Karajam A. Now, we've already reacted to this particular song. It's a beautiful, sad piece. As you guys know, Dimash really, really loves his country, really, really loves his people. And this song is actually about his people. It's actually about the troubles that's actually happened in Kazakhstan. He delivers yet again my favorite performance of this piece. He does such a beautiful portrayal in terms of like the whole stage with regards to, it's like a lighting box that he's trapped in, which is really such a beautiful metaphor for how the people are feeling in his country, where it's sort of like caged in, and he was caged in by lights, doing a solo performance with a pianist on a grand piano, beautiful white grand piano. Absolutely beautiful. It then goes from there to him actually being on the piano, playing the piano himself, and delivering what seemed to be a very, 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 very emotional performance and ending of the song, right? You can tell that the song is massively, massively something dear to him, something dear to his heart. You can tell that this is a song that's very painful for him, and yet again just delivers an absolutely incredible, heart-wrenching, goosebump-filled performance that just puts you in tears. One of my favorite performances of the night. Still not my favorite, but one of my favorite performances of the night. You probably know what my favorite is, and it's coming up soon. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. Stage aesthetics, still wearing the same pearl suit with the silver shirt. Fantastic, absolutely loved it. Okay, so then after a short piece by the actual onstage band and the traditional instrument players, they were actually playing the traditional Kazakhstani instruments, which is quite interesting because they were playing it sort of together, transitioned into each other. It went from the onstage band with the modern equipment on into the traditional old school type instrumentation from Kazakhstan, traditional from Kazakhstan, right? Dimash not on stage. Dimash then comes out to perform a song called Day Day, right? Beautiful song. He sits on like a wooden pallet with with a backdrop of the instrument players, the old school instrument players. What sounds like a very traditional song as well. With regards to lyrics, I'm not entirely sure. The stage setting, very dramatic, very old school, very sort of back in the day, how could I explain it, almost medieval. I kind of feel like it was trying to paint a historic picture, like there's a history to this particular song, right? A very sad song as well, with very, very high notes. He performs absolutely beautiful. He's wearing a black jacket now, black leather jacket, all black actually, almost as if he's in mourning of some sort. Really puts on a powerful performance with that, with the traditional instrumentation as well. The actual screens filled with images of back in the day, filled with sort of like ancient type images. So sort of like painting a portrait or a picture of like the olden days, almost like the battles of Kazakhstan, what I perceived it as, right? So it kind of felt like this song was sort of etched in history, right? Trying to paint a picture of where Kazakhstan was to where it is today. That's only my own personal interpretation, right? Either way, beautiful performance, beautiful piece, beautiful stage lighting as per normal, and obviously the traditional instrumentation to tie that all in together was beautiful. Absolutely loved that piece as well. Okay, we then have another digital transition, which then takes us into a song called Dur Daraz. Very upbeat type track. Also a track it's a song I've never heard before, obviously a brand new song as well, right? Stage absolutely beautiful, very, very interesting with regards to the actual screen displays and the graphics, which is like fields of flowers, which is strange. I'm not entirely sure how they tied into the song from a lyrical standpoint. Very upbeat, very rocky, a very energetic Dimash bouncing around stage. Beautiful vocals once again, but very, very raw, very rough and rugged and that kind of thing. Also, him wearing a black leather jacket, again, as he was in the song before. Again, costume changes were between 2 and 3 songs. It was one of the things I was noticing in this concert as well. Really, really cool track. So very upbeat, very bouncy. If anybody has information on what the meaning of this track is, it is obviously a brand new song. I've never reacted to it before. Very lively stage presence by Dimash, very lively stage presence obviously by the bands and the instrumentation, and then also the graphics around, beautiful graphics of nature and flowers and things like that. Not entirely sure how that tied in, but beautiful. Not my favorite song. I'd probably say it was probably my least favorite song of the entire concert, yet again, really, really well. Digital transition once again, and then we move into my favorite performance of the concert, which was Samel Tao. Dimash starts off by sitting on the floor, right? Very smoky, very cloudy on stage, kind of really trying to sort of show a very misty, very dark, very unsure sort of stage sort of set design. So it kind of made you feel a little weary and things like that. For the actual traditional song, again, traditional instrument players behind him, and he delivers what I believe is the best performance of the night with regards to all of the performances. Samel Tao, for me, I think it's coming from a very biased place. I love that song. I think there's so much power, there's so much emotion in that song, and yet again he just tweaks it up again. Like, he literally, best performance I've seen of this song. He literally, almost like he took a perfect rendition of the song and literally calibrated it to a point that you cannot get it any more perfect. Lots of emotion, lots of power, lots of heavy breathing, lots of so much focus, closed eyes, and just completely lost in the performance on stage. Very dramatic stage lighting as well. A lot of dark areas on stage, just to really accentuate that smoke that was going through the stage. Absolutely beautiful. I love that performance. That performance had a lump in my throat the entire time. Still wearing the exact same costume as he was before. Again, every three pieces that he does. This performance was my absolute favorite performance of the entire concert. But then again, that's coming from a very biased opinion because I love Samel Tao, and this was it. This was the highlight for me. Right, after another digital transition, we move into another song I've never heard. Obviously, a brand new song. It's called Mekin. I'm probably not saying it correctly, but this song was actually quite an interesting song. Let's actually begin with what he was wearing. He was wearing the exact same thing as the costume before. So it's exactly the same, all black and whatever else. There's a theme that goes across over here. But as it starts, there's chains that completely drop, digital chains, which looks absolutely awesome. He's completely sort of like caged in by digital chains, which kind of showed as if like being trapped and being caged in for some reason. Brand new also, but a very sort of upbeat warrior type style song. It goes into a stage set which is a lot more sort of aggressive with sort of, I think, like orange wolf eyes. Really, really cool. Lots of dark. Also backstage, well, the backup dancers wearing black attire with golden sort of waistcoats, which looked really, really awesome. It was a nice sort of touch to that particular stage set. Very upbeat, very powerful type song. It's almost like it's a song of defiance. It's a song of like, we are going to take charge. We are the warriors. We're going to fight out of these chains. We're going to break out of these shackles. I thought that was a really interesting performance. I really loved that song, and that was a brand new song for me. I've never heard it before. So I thought that song was quite special. And yeah, so lighting, Dimash's performance, absolutely everything about that song was absolutely amazing. Really enjoyed that. Right, after a digital transition, we then move on to Kram Alim. Now, this is one of my favorite songs of his as well. It's fairly new. We actually have reacted to the song as well, where he's sort of in the hills of Kazakhstan. He really does portray a story of his country, right? Where the beauty of his country and everything. Where they've got the pianist that's playing the piano in the mountains, and that sets on fire, really showing the despair, really showing the struggles of his country. Beautiful performance, solo performance by Dimash on stage, really puts all of his emotion into the song. You can see the song is such a touching song for him. You can see that the song is such a meaningful song for him, because it's a song of his people, it's a song of his country, which he loves very, very, very much. And you can see there's a lot of despair, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of sadness. Yet again, the performance is absolutely unreal. I also loved once again, the fact that there was no audience in this. I love the fact that there was no clapping, no nothing in this, because you could really, really feel those pauses. You can really feel the breaths that he was taking. You could really feel the emotion that came out of that song. I think this is probably one of Dimash's most touching songs for most people. I think for his countrymen and for himself, because I think he holds the song very, very, very close to his heart. I think it comes from a place of a lot of pain. It comes from a place of a lot of despair. It comes from a place of a lot of anguish, and it really does come through in the way he approaches a song, in the way he sings the song. You could see his facial expressions as well in the song. Was just it just tells a complete story in terms of how he was feeling that. I thought it was absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful performance. One of my favorites next to Samal Tao. Probably my two favorite performances of the entire night. Right, we then afterwards move into a very, very interesting Dimash Kudaibergen, a DQ cologne advert, which I thought was absolutely awesome. Dimash wearing he's all in white, completely all in white, singing into the mountains, and all of the flourishes and the scents and all of that going across the mountains via his voice, which then transitions him into actually spraying the cologne. Very, very interesting. I love the way the advert was actually done. Very cool. We then move on to, after digital transition, and I apologize, I have to use this because I'm going to pronounce it wrong. We have heard this song before, but it's actually pronounced Umitil, right? We've heard the song before. Absolutely beautiful, sad song. Costume change to a black and floral collared shirt, which looked kind of like silk. Really, really awesome. Really looked good on stage with the pillars and the fire. It was absolutely beautiful. Again, also a very sad song. Delivers yet another emotional performance on that song. Absolutely loved it. We have reacted to that song before, but this was once again my very, very favorite performance of Actually, all of these performances from this concert is probably the best performances I've seen by Dimash. Now, he's had so many performances that have been absolutely fantastic, but all of the performances in this particular concert almost looked like he was so fine-tuned, so finely tweaked. It's almost like the fact that this whole concert was digital, the whole concert was virtual. It kind of feel like he literally wanted to give you every single inch of emotion, every single inch of vocal, every single inch of production. It was so beautifully put together. Right, after another digital transition, we then move on to Screaming, right? Also another absolutely fantastic performance with regards to costume, still wearing the same floral shirt from the song before. Absolutely awesome. Love the actual lighting and screens and graphics on the screens with the black and white. Absolutely awesome. Backup dancers as well, wearing all black, which is also cool. Very modern sort of piece of dancing as well. With regards, it kind of sort of made me feel like it's just your pop and locky type vibe. It was very cool, right? He delivers also a fantastic performance with regards. It actually for me sounded exactly like the video that he did of Screaming, exactly the same essentially. I couldn't actually tell the difference when I actually looked at it, aside from the staging and the costumes and that kind of thing. It's exactly the same. He performed that song beforehand at 100% perfect, and he's performing it again at 100% perfect. I didn't feel like his performance here was better than his performance on the actual video. It almost felt exactly the same to me. It almost felt it was the exact same performance. It's almost like he's got that ingrained in his mind and he's got that ingrained in his body. It was just almost, it felt identical to me without the phoenix and the fire flames and things like that. It was just pretty much the same thing to me. Beautiful performance, really appreciate it. I love that and appreciate it. Of course, with his vocals going into the highs and lows, absolutely fantastic. It's not even point mentioning because you guys know how I feel about his vocals. I'm no music artist or music critic that I can tell you in terms of the correct terminology. I can just say for me, it sounded absolutely flawless. Very enjoyable performance, a lot more upbeat, coming off very sad songs. I loved it. We then move on to a very interesting performance called Be With Me. Dimash is now wearing a leather jacket that's tattered. It looked like he got attacked by a bear, right? It was very interesting. And then a red collared shirt. And then the girl who actually dances with him wearing a complete red dress as well. And also with like sort of like a leather jacket, right? Dimash's dance moves here were absolutely awesome. You can absolutely see that Michael Jackson was like a role model to him. It was, and he loves the guy because that little step was absolutely awesome. Very Michael Jackson type. I think he was really trying to show his sort of Michael Jackson skills and Michael Jackson dancing skill. Even the actual song sounded very Michael Jackson-y with regards to how it was constructed. Like dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? It had that kind of vibe. And then we move into a Ford Mustang on stage where he's actually driving and he's got what I would assume his girlfriend, not in real life, obviously for the piece itself, driving in that thing. I must be honest, it was a nice piece, very upbeat type piece, very cool, very different. Probably my least favorite piece of the night. I wasn't a mad fan of that. Like I was watching it and I was like, nah, it's okay. You know, it's sort of like very poppy to me. I wasn't a mad fan of that particular piece, right? So either way, really cool on-stage presence. Dimash's dance moves were very interesting to see. And yeah, absolutely awesome. Had a big Michael Jackson feel to it. But you can see that the man likes Michael Jackson. He's done Michael Jackson's performances before. And yeah, it was cool, but my least enjoyable performance of the night. I thought that was okay for me. Very last digital transition, and we transition into the very final song of the evening, which is We Are Golden, right? Beautiful song. I like the traditional version of it, but this is a more sort of upbeat, sort of trancey type version set in a very futuristic type video right, which I thought was absolutely awesome. The production of that video was amazing. There's a girl who obviously fights with him. He fights against the system, fights against the people who, the guy who's stealing everybody's money, right? He steals this evil man's money, which is great. Lots of really cool action scenes in it. The girl is lucky enough to snog Dimash, right? To kiss him in the car, which I thought was very interesting and must have made many of the girls jealous who were watching that, right? Really cool. Production value on that video was absolutely awesome. Very upbeat, very trance type vibe. I prefer the original though, I must be honest. Prefer the original. This one was absolutely awesome. Fitted the whole... it actually almost felt like a movie to me, to be honest, even though it was like a video, just a music video. It felt like it was a trailer for a movie. Great production, probably the best production value I've seen out of any of Dimash's music videos and work. Really set in the future. Kind of made me feel, if you guys haven't watched a movie by the name of Time with Justin Timberlake and Olivia Wilde, you need to watch that. It kind of sets that for me, where it's like this vigilante who goes out and fights the system, takes the money and gives it to the poor, or tries to like steal. In that particular movie, it was trying to steal time and give time back to the poor because that was the currency. This kind of made it feel the same to me. So he steals the evil man's money and then he distributes it amongst the poor. Very much like a modern day futuristic Robin Hood, right? Really cool. Love the fact that they ended it off on that. I saw that he actually released that on YouTube as well. I'm not even going to bother reacting to that because my inauguration one got blocked, and I see a lot of other reactors couldn't actually play the video, so it's pointless. I'll just give you my thoughts on the actual video, which I've done now. It's pointless me even trying to go through that video because so many reactors can't even play that video because of blocking, right? I have noticed that his management have said, there's a couple of people that have said that his management is starting to clamp down on the content, which kind of sort of blocking and claiming moving forward. I hope they don't really pursue that too far. I kind of feel that that would be a bit of a detriment to Dimash because so many people share his content. I think people need to just be very respectful of his content. I think people need to put links down below. I think people need to really use his content responsibly and tell people that the links are in the channel, in the description down below. They must go to his channel, subscribe to his channel, and things like that. So all in all, my overall thoughts with regards to the concert was absolutely beautiful. The virtual concert I thought was absolutely beautifully done, from literally the onstage aesthetics to his performance. I think his performance was so fine-tuned. I think he had literally the time to focus on the depths. He had the time to focus on the emotion. I kind of feel it's almost like he was sort of doing this for himself in that void, because it meant something to him, and yet we got that emotion out of it because with stage, I think you're kind of focusing on the crowds and that kind of thing, and I think that he didn't have that. I think the fact that he had the time to sit there and perfect every little element really brought us the best online concert I've ever seen, right? So absolutely loved it, absolutely thought it was fantastic, absolutely beautiful, and yeah, man, that's for me, from a concert perspective, 10 out of 10. I thought it was absolutely incredible, well worth the money. I wish that Tixa had actually kept it on for longer just so we could go back and watch it a bit more. But you know what? It didn't matter because I was very happy to support the man, specifically for what he's done for this channel, specifically for, you know, the dears that have come here, the dears that appreciate him, and for what you guys have done to this channel. So I appreciate that greatly. I appreciate the dears greatly. I appreciate Dimash greatly, and I'm really, really so happy that I was able to be part of this. And those were my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on the entire concert, piece by piece, right? Some of it might sound pretty much the same because the guy is just brilliant. I don't know what else to say, right? And I just tried to sort of paint a little bit of a picture for you and what I loved about most, like the parts that I loved the most and things like that. So yeah, this brings this whole review down to a close. Brilliant concerts, beautiful pieces, absolutely amazing. You guys let me know down below which ones you preferred, what song was you preferred. Also with regards to the new songs, if anybody's got any information on the new pieces that I don't know about, any sort of lyrics that I need to know, which I do need to know because there were a couple of songs that I didn't know, put it down in the description. Let's have the discussion. Let's talk a little bit more about the concert and let me know your thoughts. I love you all. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. And I'll catch you on the next one.